Welcome back to Defense News Weekly. I'm Andrea Scott. Author Sebastian Junger has spent years reporting on war and the issues surrounding the experience of combat and coming home from duty. Writer of the books War, Freedom, and the center of the Afghanistan documentary Restrepo, Junger was on hand at the MCON conference in Las Vegas to talk about a new topic, returning home from service. He sat down with Military Times editor Sarah Sicard. Have a look.
Thank you for sitting down with us.
My pleasure.
So today you gave a little speech about coming home, which is an experience that's kind of synonymous with like homecoming, especially for people in the military. But that's usually like a happy circumstance, pomp and circumstance. How do you think that's sort of at odds with a lot of the experiences that veterans actually feel when they return home?
Well, I think there's the rush. I'm guessing, I'm not a veteran, right? I'm a journalist, but I've covered combat and veterans quite a lot. And I think, of course, there's the rush of seeing people you love who you haven't seen for a year or plus. But then when people settle into their daily lives, there's this really complicated comparison because this is the civilian world. Like, you're not called upon to function at the kind of high level that you are even in a support unit, much less a combat unit in the military. So I think veterans feel that they're a kind of a less, maybe a lesser version of themselves when they're back home, and they miss the sort of tribal connection of their unit, of the platoon, the company that they're in, and that all adds up to, and sometimes there's trauma. If they were in combat, there might be trauma, and that all adds up to someone who's psychologically at risk of depression and anxiety and all kinds of troubled states. So there's things you can do, but it is a problem. Like, it is something that has to be tackled.
Coming home is not necessarily, obviously, a veteran's experience. What do you think is in particular about coming home that sort of can, have that very initial like flood of emotion, I'm happy to be here, but then it sort of reverts into a state of beforeness that you were mentioning?
Right. Well, when people go away to do something difficult, whether it's the Peace Corps or a trip around the world, or of course combat, which is in some ways the ultimate hard thing, they mature very quickly, and they change, and they grow, and they get stronger, and all these things that we all know are good. And so then you come back, and I think particularly for young people who have had very difficult experiences overseas, you come back and you feel like, oh my God, this is a step backwards. This is the place where I was a child. I'm not a child anymore. I'm a grown man, a grown woman. Like, what? I'm back in, figuratively speaking, I'm back in my high school bedroom. Like, what? This isn't me. I think that's very disorienting, and I think people can have that even if they're in their 30s and 40s and coming home to a marriage with children. I think they can still kind of feel that way. The demands of combat and the benefits of combat and just being in a close, unified group are so enormous, and they play to such ancient human values of altruism and connection and courage, that they're very hard to give up. And civilian life in this country, because we live in a fairly affluent, safe society, doesn't require those things from us. So we feel underused, and no one likes to feel that way.
So, in addressing those feelings of, I guess purposelessness and lack of community, is the solution for, like, say, a veteran who comes home to try and, find that community with similar people and to sort of, try and like re-find a purpose by joining, a service organization or something like that? Is that really sort of the solution, or the? Well,
yeah, I mean, I'm trying to do off the top of my head, but I have like 5 or 6 things that I think help anyone who's coming home, including, of course, veterans. First of all, stop thinking that you're special. You are special. You had experiences that few of your peers had, but if you keep thinking about yourself as someone who's special and different and better, then you'll never reincorporate into the civilian world of just ordinary people. The point is to reincorporate into the society you fought for, and if you keep saying, no, but I'm better than them, I'm different, I'm better, then you're never going to do it. So stop thinking about yourself as special. You are, but stop it, right? Figure out a way to be useful, to be necessary. There's something very, very meaningful and sort of life-saving in providing help to others. And it doesn't matter what it is. That's one of the reasons that societies often experience great closeness during a crisis, like a war or a flood or tornado or a hurricane. And then after things have gotten better, they sort of miss what should have been the worst days of their lives, except in different way they were the best days of their lives because everyone was working together. Everyone was sort of freed from the tyranny of their ego.
Right, that sense of purpose comes from an external rather than a need to find it internally.
Right. So when you come home, try to be of service. That will help. Try to gather in groups.